of land under starry skies above. Don't fence me in.
This is a massive fire that's covered like a huge part of Victoria, and then bang, the state of Victoria starts that year, bang, the city of Bendigo starts the same year. If you get into like the meaning of the song lines and stuff, that every tribe holds a different part of the song and they've held it for thousands of years, and then you mix and jumble that up, it's a mass scrambling of the energy in the area. And they were moved out to Hills for like the takeover of this area, because you come from like those tribal stories. Then 2 women supposedly walk up and find gold in Bendigo. In that time, it goes from a tent city to like 20,000 people within a month to 5 to 10 years later, it's the richest city in the world. Like, that's a pretty extraordinary growth and almost impossible story to believe when you think about it. The most elegant ballrooms we've ever seen. In the setting of the ball, a worker lost control, listen to this bullshit, lost control of his torch whilst trying to light one of the decorative sunlights in the roof. He missed the mark. What nonsense. And in the instant, the roof was ablaze. Prince Alfred Ballroom burning down was not only listen to this bit, only the worst fire-related incident. The previous night, a fireworks demonstration by a volunteer fire brigade resulted in the death of 3 8-year-old boys. So the military actually was keeping a ghost log book in this building. The royal homages. So you got King Street, you'll get this in every town, right? You got King and Queen, but then you got Bull, and then you got Royal Avenue there too. So it's all indicating this period that goes into this this pyramid. And then I thought, well, that's even interesting too, because it runs along Littleton Terrace, and at the peak of Littleton Terrace is the Bendigo Town Hall. And I've mentioned before that the cult of a time that Jordan Maxwell used to speak about is that they would use a number of different towns to lay out where they held their significance, particularly within the Masons, with towns ending in TON.
I started to really get to know what that meant and how it affected how I expressed myself into the world, but not only expressed myself, but really got to see the world around me in a different light. Only once I started to realise that did my health start to improve, but at the same time, being a naturally rebellious kind of kid, seeing what's wrong with the world, I was also learning a lot about how the world functions insofar as what's right, wrong, why we have the world around us, why we have control mechanisms, and what role we have to play in it.
It's basically the same term in a way has been doing the rounds anyway, whether it's via the spiral, whether it's it's a theme across everyone. And even speaking to Indigenous people, like in Australia, New Zealand, America, wherever, they've all got different words for it, but everyone's talking about the same thing. And then people are arguing about what word one should use for this, and it's all about the reintegration process. So that's where I've come to anyway at this point in time.
Numbers, as we know them, are actually the symbols that represent the different energetics of the universe. So all one needs to do to understand the energetics of the universe is understand what each of those symbols, numbers, actually represent. Right, and of course there are so many layers, and quite literally to lead humanity towards freedom. If it wasn't for the 5 energy, we would just be going to, it's the 5 energies that look for the exit under a 5 energy. So did World War II. In fact, the London Olympics, that was also under a 5 energy. That's interesting. Anytime they want humanity, any large, small proportion of humanity, to take one side or the other, doesn't really matter which one you take, just that you take a side, we're going to do it under a 5 energy. So when you can start to understand the energetics, you can see this stuff from miles away, and you don't give yourself to it, your energy to it. There's no anticipation or build up, because you can it's writing on the wall. Just deal with this right here, you know? There's all of that going on in the world, but how does it impact me in my life with my family right here and right now, and how can I prepare for that? The best way to prepare this year is to invest in your healing.
That's the first step of the hero's journey, and if it's a universal blueprint, the first step is the call to adventure. It's because we don't like stagnancy, and this is going to go into the spiral later, because we want movement, we want adventure, we want to know who we are. So it goes up the spiral. And the spiral representing DNA, but then the spiral itself also represents the unknown, because as you're climbing up the ladder, you don't really know. You've only got the next few steps to go. So it's actually a path of faith and trust in yourself, because you don't know where the end's going to come. And it's the same that, again, Mark Passy does a real good breakdown of this too, but he says the same thing about Dorothy in the Yellow Brick Road. Love is action, love is the process of doing. If you looked at the entire universe as a hologram, we know a hologram, everything's a smaller part of the whole. But for me, okay, well, what does that mean? It explains what the human being is. And this is like the power that I believe if you come from this space of knowing that you're a fractal of creation itself, that you have every single thing, every bit of knowledge within the universe, within you, then what happens there? Right? This takes away all victimhood. It takes away that, like, who's they that's controlling it. They's actually us. They's you. Because you hold all the expressions in yourself, and then it goes, okay, well, how do I get in touch with who I am? How do I go through these layers? Well, you're part of the earth. That's probably a good start. It's like getting connection with the earth, understand that everything else is a fractal. But then, like, the universe itself, universe means one verse or one expression, one verse of song, one verse of life. So it's like a collective that we've all agreed upon. And this universe is light, and that's what's tied into the DNA. So it's light, it goes up, down. It's a vibration. Of course, you're going to see it in nature. You're going to see it in a movie. You're going to see it in your own life story, because the fractal's playing out everywhere. And what I think we're doing in here is we do role play. You exist in reality and you exist in simulation. And then if you get to the constructs of what actually is, like, yeah, I think there is actual physical simulation, because it's represented by an energetic simulation, which is just separation. And in the universal journey of the hero's journey, it's broken up into 3 stages, which is separation, initiation, and return. So if simulation exists, it's just a point of separation in the story. That is true. Love and knowledge, holding love and knowledge in balance. And the way I went looking for this symbol, because this came to me. I was sitting in bed. I'm like, that makes sense. That's the cross. Because the way I see it is if you're holding that expression and then bringing that all the way down, as you're going through the layers of reality compression, you're actually going through understanding knowledge. So even our physical soul moving through different layers of the universe is the same represented as you working through different layers of your own story or your own hero's journey, going into the subconscious, because this is represented also as going in, so descending into your subconscious. And so that's knowledge. So and again, it's action, because you learn it, you're doing it through experience. So as you're going through the experience, you're obtaining the knowledge. And then love is understanding the polarities, like the Christ-like love and knowledge. It seems like he's already been through that process. And I think they've made this video to show that he's the way shower, because eventually his band members come and join him, but would they come and join him at the end after he's knocked back all these temptations? I think all the rewards is the path of the individual. And what it is, it's just honouring your own unique soul expression, being the true individual, whatever you want that to be, right? So, and the rest of it is being dictated by the collective, and you exist within finite, not within infinite. Then you're going to have to control both polarities. You're going to have to control good, dark, and light. And it's a vibration of the universe that it's naturally going to occur. We're going to go into dark and light periods. So it seems like Satanism is having a full exposure, and we are experiencing a Christian revival. Would people agree to that? And also the level in which you project down on people too. And that can be like F the government, F the whatever, whatever it might be, like putting your blame onto other people. That's gonna, if you see someone like that, I guarantee you they're going to idolise someone else in the exact same degree. At the beginning stages of separation, you're already longing to go home. You don't. It's so far unobtainable from where you are, because you're at the beginning. You don't even know what home is really. Again, like when the father goes over and he cracks the egg in the morning, when he says, "I had a dream about mum," he cracks the egg at that exact moment. Actually, caresses it first to tell you. He's saying the memory of the mum is still there, which is saying the memory of home is still there. And like where you will eventually get back to, the longing to get there. In the Linkin Park one, he actually comes out and you can see the light. It's like his new creation. You could say that he's actually left this void. He's come from the mother and he comes out of the void, and he actually enters through like the crown of the goddess in the music video where he sings for the rest of the thing. And then as the music video progresses, and it matches much of the lyrics too, you see a whale distant kind of floating around in the background, but it's never acknowledged. So it's something that's always there. It's kind of representing the intuition that's in the background, but you don't quite know what it is. But the whale starts to have an impact on the reality itself, and as the music video goes on, it starts to green up and liven up, and it matches the music as well at the same time too. To right near the end, you can see it's a whole new different reality, and they do like acknowledge this whale that swims past at the end too. And there's a pendulum, which is in the lyrics as well of the song. And near the end of it, he comes back in, the pendulum's in perfect balance. But the whale is meant to represent intuition. It goes into the hole, and the moment it goes into the hole, he goes, oh my God. And it shows you that there's a point of divine intervention within the story too. All of artificial intelligence is, I believe it's a consciousness within the universe that has chosen to separate itself from creation. And by doing that, it's decide to create, through jealousy, its own version of light. Great, so thanks very much. Appreciate you.
Let me be by myself in the evening breeze and listen to the murmur of the cottonwood trees. Send me off forever, but I am